Hello and welcome back to Black Bear Forge. This afternoon I thought we would just engage in a little bit of quick question and answer period to answer some of the more common questions that I get down there in the comment section. Lately, one of the more common questions has been about the little hook ruler that I so often use in the videos. No, this is not available for sale as is. It is a commercial product. This is a modified square. So it's like a small version of a framing square that's just had one leg cut off. In fact, you can do it with an old framing square if you've got one that isn't too precious. I just buy I think it's a 12-inch by 8-inch Stanley square. I usually buy them from McMaster-Carr, and I've done a video on what model square this is and where I buy them and what I do to prep these to make a nice hook ruler out of it, and I'll link that video right up here. I also sometimes have these on the Etsy shop. I haven't made any in a little while, so I'm probably out right now, but maybe in a few months I'll have more of these up on the Etsy shop, so it's worth taking a look over there. And that brings up another question. The Etsy shop description, along with my website description, my mailing address, all of that kind of stuff is down there in the video description. You just have to click that little box that says show more after the first couple of lines of the description, and you can go through all of that stuff. There's a list of suppliers, places like Pay Tool, Blacksmith's Depot, Centaur Forge, Blacksmith Supply. There is a link to Abana if you're looking for a blacksmithing affiliate in the United States. You'll find that down there. Lots of good, useful links down there in that description. You just have to take the time to read it. Now, to go along with the square, I frequently use these little blue pencils. This is a Mark All, that's the brand name. Silver Streak is the product, and it is a lead holder. It's just a little thing that holds a silver lead. The leads are replaceable. You can buy them in little bundles of, I think, 6 leads. And I find these to be way better than wood and silver pencils. They don't seem to dry out. They seem to work better. And I've really enjoyed using these. Typically, you can get these at a welding supplier, an industrial supplier. You can probably find them a lot of places online. And again, sometimes I'll buy a batch of these and put them in the Etsy shop. Currently, I'm out, but pretty soon I'll probably go ahead and order some more. Again, speaking of the Etsy shop, that's where you'll find t-shirts, stickers, things like that. And I've got another batch of t-shirts on the way that have a new design on them. And I'll let you see those when they actually show up, maybe in the next few weeks. Now, there are a few common questions about my anvil. The number one question is, what kind of an anvil is it? And I believe it's a hay button, but it is not marked hay button. This has some other name on it. It's a hardware store or something. And unfortunately, most of it is worn off, so I can't really read the whole thing. My understanding is companies like Hay Button and Peter Wright made anvils for other retail outlets, and those outlets had their names marked on those anvils so that it didn't say Hay Button on it, but it probably is what it is. It's an old forged wrought iron anvil with a steel top. And no, I can't tell you where to go find one today. You just have to keep scrounging around and get lucky. The truth is that one of these days I may actually replace it with a brand new Fontanini anvil, because I really like the Fontanini anvils, and I like the Rufflinghouse anvils. They're double horn anvils, more of a continental style, and they have some things going for them. But if I do that, you guys will be the second to know. I'll be the first to know. The next most asked question about the anvil is, what does it weigh? When I bought it, I was told it was 308 pounds. No, I didn't weigh it to double check the guy. I took his word for it. And the final question is, what's up with this edge? Is your top coming off? Is it cracked? No, it is not. At some point, the edges of this anvil were so badly worn and damaged, somebody repaired it with welding rod, and that's just a bad weld down there. It's really hard to weld from the top and get a nice even seam down on the side. One of the reasons I don't want to have to try and repair an anvil. But it's not uncommon for people to repair the top of an anvil, repair the gouges and the dents and the chips and all the worn spots with hard-facing welding rod. And I've done that one time, and I will never do it again. It was way more work than it was worth for the anvil that I did it on. This one, I might come in here and try and weld this up, because it's not really a big deal. Another question that has been asked a lot in the last month is about my quenching oil. It is a commercial quenching oil. I don't know what the name of it is. It was in an unmarked bucket. I ordered it from a petroleum supplier, and I just asked for heat treat oil or quenching oil. They put the order in for me, and this is what I got. I've been using this for a few years. It's getting old and dirty, and it's burned off a fair amount of it, so it needs to be replaced. I will probably replace it with whatever McMaster-Carr sells, because that's easy. But there are lots of commercial heat treat oils out there. McMaster-Carr sells something. I'm sure MSC sells something. A lot of the knife making suppliers sell stuff. but it is an oil formulated for quenching steel in, made for hardening. It's not just old motor oil. Now, a lot of people do use canola oil and olive oil, and I've talked to a lot of knife makers that have great results in that stuff, and I would probably try that, except we have a lot of bears around here, and I'm a little concerned that bears might be attracted to the smell from a 5-gallon bucket of olive oil in the shop, and I don't need a reason to invite them in. Another common question I've had lately, and I'm surprised people pay that much attention, but they want to know what happened to the hammer I used to use all the time. For a long time I was using primarily a 3-pound cross-peen hammer made by William Bastis, and the only reason I'm not using it right now is the handle finally gave up. It's sitting on my workbench down in the wood shop, and I just haven't had time to put a new handle on it. Hopefully in the next week or two I'll get around to that, and then that will probably become my most used hammer again. The last question, the one that surprises me the most perhaps, is people ask, "What's your name?" Now somehow people know what my name is. Lots of people use my name when they comment on the videos. They say, "John, what size anvil is that? John, where'd you get the quenching oil? John, where do I get one of these pencils?" But apparently I don't make mention of it very often. Somewhere I guess I ought to put it down there in the video description or put it somewhere else in the video. But the name is John Switzer, and I'm a blacksmith, and I run a business called Black Bear Forge, both to make items for customers and to make YouTube videos. Which, by the way, is the reason that I called the second channel I just started Off Topic with John Switzer. But that's all I've got for today. I hope that answered some of the questions people have had. If it did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. Then feel free to stick around, watch a few of the other videos, share the videos with your friends or on social media, but then make time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next one.